All right. This is a subscription stream. Been trying to get back to these Ultramarines for over a week now, and now we finally have time. So we're going to work on these. We've got 3 Eliminators and 2 Honor Guard to work on. So we're going to do that. Where we left off was that we had done the blues, we'd done the cloaks on the Honor Guard, we did the cloaks on the Eliminators, and we basically were to the point that we were ready to do some fine detail work across the board. So block in some colors and that sort of thing. Right now these look really glossy, but they won't be glossy for long because of the matte finish we're going to be applying to them. So that as that matte finish goes on, they lose a lot of that tacky look. So yeah. Okay, I got to grab a couple things like some leader armor. Okay.
I'm a very old man. I'm just trying to get this straight. And Baron pipes up in Dwarvish to him and says, "It's a bit odd that you would worship Saren right after you had to meet a dwarf that worships."
He's Torek.
He's Torek?
Yeah,
oh.
Just the mother is Saren.
Oh, were they on a journey?
She was going to Corvosa to go to the Temple of Saren.
Right? Oh, but he was somewhere. Okay, then I lost my train. Selling drugs.
She was selling black tar heroin.
This is all very suspicious.
He's not a good dude.
Just the Corvosa connection. It's all clear.
He knows all the languages, and he's going to Corvosa. Surely,
let me see your character sheet. All the languages.
He owns a 30-foot cigarette boat. He's back and forth to Miami 3 times a month.
It's probably nothing.
He has a 42 in linguistics.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I mean, Hugo tells you what little he knows, and he doesn't seem as optimistic as Briella, just because he saw people get killed, but he doesn't even remember the ones that did get killed. Mm-hmm. He knows that some were taken, though, and so there is, yet again, a glimmer of hope.
All right.
Any other business?
I think we need to set out.
I think we're done here. So Pembroke says, "Gamut Malan, my friend," which is Dwarvish for farewell.
And to you, as I know all the languages.
He'd be a great resource if we ever need anything translated. If we fail our linguistics.
He'd be great in PFS.
Yeah. Is he a PFS legal character?
Not sure. No comment. Yeah, so you guys have done some shopping.
Yeah, we wanted to get outfit. You let us know, and common sense would dictate that where we're going is that there's going to be high altitudes and extreme weather conditions. So most of us bought cold weather clothing.
Right.
Tis true.
This gets nasty, but you would know from looking at the map that you're going into the mountains. There does not appear to be a valley like Minderhall's Valley. It looks like you're going directly into the mountains. So to be safe, you should prepare yourself for cold weather. You should prepare yourself for high altitudes as best you can. And I don't even know if there is a way. You talked.
Life bubble.
Life bubble, yeah. That is one option. And then obviously endure elements, but there's 5 of you.
It's expensive, either from a gold perspective or a spells per day perspective.
Right, to have to burn that spell slot on that.
A couple times, probably.
It may end up keeping, cold can cause non-lethal damage. Altitude can cause fatigue. And the longer you spend in the cold or the altitude, the higher the DCs go to overcome it.
Can Pembroke do a geography check to see if we're going to be traversing? It's likely we'll be traversing the most extreme end of the altitude scale, like 15,000 feet or over.
Absolutely.
28.
28, yeah. You would know. Luckily, it's still fall. If you were traveling in winter, you might have to just abandon this mission altogether, or go open up a store in Skelt so you could make some money to buy the gear that you needed. But you would think that it's going to be anywhere from 25 to 35 degrees on its coldest, and then maybe around 40 on a normal sunny day.
But as far as altitude, yeah, you would probably be somewhere in the low peak, high pass range. You're never going to go. So between
over
4,000 and 15,000?
Yeah, you'll be under 15,000. You would think.
I've
According
done
to
that
this
in
map,
real life several times, so I feel pretty confident.
what's your
Also, it's colder in New York. It's colder in New York the past couple weeks than it is apparently in
That's true.
Skiergård.
But we all owned cold weather gear.
That's true.
It's true.
We don't
And it still sucks.
own boots of the Winterland. So. Mine are from North Face.
Today's episode brought to you by
North Face.
Is there a check that we could do? I know we
No.
fought a frost giant in the Putsch Hall.
Yes.
But are they revivified or invigorated by the temperature matching their name? Like, if it's going to be cold and high altitude, are they going to be like super powered, Super Saiyan?
You don't think they'll be super powered, but you certainly know that the altitude and the cold don't affect them.
Okay.
Which makes it tough if your enemy is totally acclimated and
Right.
you're not.
Do they have a weakness to fire? I can roll for this.
Yeah, you would just know. They do.
Yeah, great.
They do have a weakness.
But they're tougher than any of the giants we face. And the one frost giant that we did face, I think he was so far away from us that we were able to take him out before he even got to us.
They
Or
are
at least
so,
chip him way down.
badass.
They're really badass.
We're talking one-hit kills. A crit with these great axes, that tends to be their weapon of choice. Obviously, they're going to have other stuff. It can be game over for any of you.
If the Led Zeppelin song, Immigrant Song, was coalesced into a living being, it would be a frost giant.
Exactly. All right, what else do you want to do in Scout? Anything else?
Baron wants to check in. I don't know if it's been a full day yet, but I want to see if Sir Will has thought any more about the message from his mother and what he wants to do.
Ah, yes.
Right.
He's had a message from his mommy.
All right. A note from your mother, eh?
I miss you. Come home from school camp, summer camp. I miss you.
And I actually think after hearing about Briella and Shael,
You are disgracing her memory.
How do you spell it? That'll help.
Shayel.
Shael. Think about Briella and Shael. It's reinforced this idea of family and having one, and I think it's important, and it's something that Baron wants to urge him again to go and pursue his family needs. So let's go check in on Sir Will.
Okay. So you guys want to. You're probably gonna spend one more night before you head out in the early morning.
Oh yeah, and Lork wants to do real quick. Before we get to nighttime, Lork wants to try to do some gear swapping. So he's really feeling the weight of the gear that Lork had, which he had picked up Atena's chainmail, and
on Lork that probably felt great.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because he can't move that nimbly anyway, and so he was just like, "Oh, this is great." And in this new body, it feels like it's really weighing him down. So he wants to see if he can take this like badass magical armor. It's +2 light fortification chainmail, and see if he can possibly trade it for some magical light armor. If they have some light armor, leather armor, magical leather armor.
And you
Elven chain.
Elven chain?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Elven, it's a type. It's like Bilbo's mithril shirt.
Oh, you can also get a mithril shirt.
Is it insanely
shirt.
expensive?
Mithril does add quite a pretty penny to the
Yes,
costume
yeah.
armor. So yes, could have had Dallas. Oh wait, Troy stole all that.
Yeah, Troy stole all of that.
Elven
gear.
chain is 5,150 gold pieces. It weighs 20 pounds.
Oh.
Because this extremely light chainmail is made of very fine mithril links. The armor is treated in all ways like light armor, including when determining proficiency. The armor has an arcane spell failure chance of 20%, max dex +4, armor check -2.
check -2. No, he just wants leather armor.
This was your idea to roll on the table. He's like, yeah, I got some armor back here. I got some +2, blah, 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 leather armor, and we'll roll to see what he has, and that's what you have to trade it in for.
Right. It's like
And this-
Pawn Stars.
I love rolling for things that completely change your character and like your efficacy in the game.
Yeah, and it might, down the road, might lead to something crazy happening, for good or ill. Like
There's
from,
some cool abilities.
Yeah, there are. So this is a list that is on Paizo's SRD that is from Ultimate Equipment and just has you roll a D100 and it's like 20 or so different +1 equivalent armor properties.
Right. So light fortification is a +1. So it'll remain a +2 armor, but it'll have a new property.
It might be light fortification if you roll it.
Hey, you never know. Here it
never
comes.
know.
Here it comes for all the kids at home. D100, I rolled a 29.
29. Never heard of it.
Oh, I love it already.
Bolstering.
Ooh.
+2 bolstering leather armor.
Guys, like, I got this +2 bolstering leather armor. You're welcome to have it. I'll take that light fortification.
Anytime the wearer of bolstering armor damages a creature with a melee or ranged attack, he gains a +2 competence bonus on saving throws against that creature's abilities
Oh, cool.
to the start of his next turn.
Yeah, that'll come in handy.
That's cool. It says the bolstering ability can be applied. Reroll. It cannot be applied to light armor.
Oh,
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow, all right. That was a pretty cool one.
That was a
but
cool one.
This is going to be a 3-hour long episode.
I just threw my dice across the studio.
We need to get you a dice tray.
I really do
Or
need
you,
a
Grant.
dice tray.
I have an extra one here.
Oh. Thank you, Skid.
Oh.
I wanted to get one of those nice wormwood ones, but we just don't have those fun.
Wormwood.
Wormwood. Okay, here we go. Let's try it
Come on.
again. Come on, bolstering again.
Use the tray.
Oh yeah, I rolled
just
right in my
gave you
mouth.
the tray.
It might be bolstering again. 32.
Third. Oh dear. Okay.
+2 lame armor.
All right.
The wearer is now lame.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not cool. But what are you gonna do? Brawling. +2 brawling armor. +2 bonus on unarmed attack and damage rolls.
Wow.
So
Unarmed attack.
that did not go
Ooh,
well.
that really
Well,
backfired.
it's all right. It's all right. Hey, you should take some penalty. You don't just trade armor 1 for 1.
Sure.
Usually. So
It's too bad you couldn't take the bolstering. It was nice, but this one.
Hello.
Thank you for choosing MasterCard, Visa, and Discover. As our way of saying thanks, we'd like to reward you for making your payments in a timely fashion. We're excited to inform you that you're now eligible to qualify for 0% interest rates on your existing credit card accounts. If you still owe more than $5,000 in total credit card debt, press the number 1 to qualify for lower interest, lower payments, and cashback benefits for your most recent purchases. Press 1 now for more information.
Don't owe anything on my credit card right now.
Brawling?
I'm good.
yeah, brawling.
Hey, you never know.
And it says brawling
It's
can
leather?
only be applied to light armor.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So basically, you better take that feat to.
Improved unarmed strike.
And that really backfired.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I like it though. I like it.
You get back to
It probably looks great.
it. It probably looks nice. Got like a couple of pugilists
Yes.
facing off from each other.
Waxed mustache.
All right, so you get back to the inn. You're going to leave the next day, and Baron wants to talk to Sir Will. What is Feyraza doing throughout all this? She's just hanging out. She knows now that she's saved brought a man back who now has a child. Do you feel like everything is happening for a reason?
I think she's just kind of like trying to keep up at this point. I think she's also eager to go track. Like she knows she can help the group by
Sure.
tracking these giants. So she's eager to get out there and just kind of figure out what's going on. Do like one of the, like a detective in the murder scene, like reimagine the fight.
Yeah, survival is going to be huge.
Be footsteps
Having
heading
a-
every which way.
Right, every which way. All right, Baron, you go up to Sir Will. He's drinking a tall glass of chocolate milk with a straw.
Just emasculating him every step you can. I love it. Baron sidles up a chair and orders a whiskey from the barkeep, slides it over, takes a swig, and I haven't had good dwarven whiskey in quite a long time, Sir Will. And when I get to drinking whiskey, I get to thinking. And I've been thinking that I'm going to use the power invested in me by the town of Trunau and your superior to order you to go home and tend to your family business.
Order me?
Yes, you were left under my command. And it's in my judgment that this is best for you and for the party.
Sheriff, I would never presume to question you, but you're sure this is what's best? I don't know. I fear you going into that. I fear you climbing into those mountains without me. I don't know. It's very dangerous. And though my family could need me, if it is your order, I mean, of course, that's what I will do, but
Sir Will, I'm not telling you to abandon this mission. There are caveats. I need you to drop by Trunau on your way back from Highbury, and I want you to tell them a status update on what's happening here now.
Well, that is an excellent idea, Sheriff. I like that.
And I also want you, because I know you always come back, to rejoin us when you can. And that's why we're going to set up a base camp at the foot of the mountains leading up to Skiergard.
Okay. All right.
Pulls out a map and he marks, I don't know, we haven't been there yet, but with the information we got from Hugo and everyone else here, I think we're going to be about here. So searching within a few miles, I think you'll be able to find us with the help of Lexington.
Yes, Lexington and his scent ability, we can cover great ground quickly. I'm sure we could find you.
Baron hands him a little treat on the side of the bar. It's like a pretzel.
And not to be too creepy about it, but if you gave Peraza a lock of hair, she could scry on you to check to see how you were doing.
Oh.
Peraza's just listening in the back. She's like, actually, I'd love a piece of.
By the way, not to be creepy already. Give me your hair. Give me your hair. A bit of nail would work as well.
Sir Will is like, of course. He reaches one of his beautiful blonde locks, pops it off, gives it to Feyraza.
And Baron leads it and says,
well, this sounds like more like a mission here. So,
and I figured that would be something that would make Sir Will feel better about leaving to check on his family, because that way he will never feel like he's derelict of duty. He's still, doing stuff for the party and,
Right, yeah, and then, who is he to question you? So
It's the best way to couch it for Sir Will.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
And Baron reaches into his jacket and pulls out a letter. And he says, I need you when you get to Trunau. I don't know if you ever spoke with her, but to hand this letter to Mrs. Plum.
Did I ever speak with her?
No, I don't believe you met her. They went to talk to, it was
just
Stella
and Baron.
the deputy and the sheriff.
So sorry.
And you were really mean to her.
I believe I said, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
You also held a gun in her face.
He pointed a gun in her face. Of course, Sheriff, it would be my honor to do so. Of course. Does anyone else have anything they'd like me to take to Trunau?
Well, I guess nobody else had been to Trunau. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait. Did you go alone to the bar, or is everybody at the bar?
Everybody's at the bar.
Everybody's at the
The
bar.
whole gang.
I think it's basically where we're staying. Kind of a breakfast.
The hotel bar.
Hotel bar.
Holiday Inn.
In that case, Lork is going to talk to Sir Will as well, if he's going to leave. Now, and when would he leave? Just the next day?
I mean, that's up to you. I don't know if you have more stuff to do at the post office, if you're expecting more mail or
Some
something.
whoring.
No, he's been Sir Will's been a little in his cups because he's very sad about his brother, and so he's not gonna drink and drive Lexington tonight.
Did Feyraza have any unfinished business there, or now that Pudir's gone, she's done with Trunau?
I mean, if he were to look for any, do any research on Pudir, that might be helpful, but
Fuck.
he's
I'll
dead.
do that as well. I'm gonna write this down. He starts taking notes, and
Lork might be able to provide you information. He did kill him after all.
Awkward silence.
Horace's been drinking again.
She gets so mean. She's a mean drunk. Give me your hair. She has one cider. Anybody else in here kill a chosen one? This guy did. This guy over here. This guy.
Hey, chosen one killer.
Yeah, he'll head out the next day.
Okay, you said Lork wanted to tell him something?
Lork's gonna wait till the next day too.
Okay,
Yeah, Lork's gonna sleep on it.
it's the next day. How many days you been in Skelt? Is this day 3 in Skelt or day 2?
This next day would be the start of day 3.
The start of day 3 in Skelt.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys get up, and it's time to say goodbye to Sir Will and get crazy to go to Skiergard. And Sir Will's mission is to go home, check in on his family, and then skirt back around.
He gets like a brief leave, basically.
Right.
But then he's got to go to Trunau, report on the mission thus far, check in with Jagrin, and then head back to the base of the mountains where Skiergard is.
Wow, this is exciting.
And
Crazy.
on the way out of town, this is lame bookkeeping, but I just have to say it now so you don't yell at me later. Baron's using the rest of his gold after crafting ammunition to purchase an oil of flame arrow, thinking about the giants. So
Nice.
think about Lork.
Actually, Pembroke has Flame Arrow also, although it costs him 2 spell slots to cast. But so
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Just thinking I could share it with Lork since he might be using his bow. We haven't seen him in combat yet, but I'm thinking that sweet, lithe little body that he has now, he can move around a lot better. So
Will help.
And then as Sir Will is packing up to leave, putting some saddlebags on Lexington, Lork comes up and he's like, Sir Will, I know you are an honorable knight, and I'd like to ask you to do me something as well. And he pulls, he's carrying Gorham's thorn in its sheath, and he brings it over to him, and he's like, I'd like you to carry this with you and bring it back to Trunau. When you get there, please hand it over to Jagrin and tell him that Lork Iron Tusk was found, and he died trying to fix this curse he thought he was under, and that he was successful, and that he plans to return one day in another body to pay for his crimes of desertion. But for now, this weapon should serve to protect the people of Trunau, and that he's going to do what he can to protect them as well from afar. And once this giant threat is settled, he'll be back. And tell Silvermane that it's from the Vault of Thorns as well. I think he'll like that. And, I don't know what else to say, but you may be able to fill it in. You're a little more eloquent than I am. And he passes it over to him. And that's it.
Sir Will's got a lot to do if he survives. And with that, your business is pretty much done in Skelt. And it's time to finally head to this giant training camp where the best of the best were sent from Minderhall's Valley to go here and train to take over the world. Skiergard. All you have is a map, a rudimentary map. You guys set out. You go down those elevators and the waterfall thing. You go down. I imagine you just like looking up, like in Game of Thrones, going down the wall, looking up at the wall, looming above you. The waterfall is like mists spraying you in the face. And you get down to the base and one last look up at the bluffs, and you realize it's time to go. By the end of day 1, you still haven't got towards the area where Hugo said the siege took place, or the attack rather, yeah. But you know that you'll be there probably by midday the next day. So you guys camp out. Feels pretty safe. You set your watches.
And I want to say again, or not again, but when we sleep at night, like Lork is realizing that like he's not sleeping. Like he's trying to sleep, but he's not sleeping, and sort of takes the form of nightmares. Sometimes it did that first night. He's trying to figure out what's going on, and he's realizing that he gets more rest if he just literally sits and closes his eyes and tries to focus on something, one thing, whatever it is. So he's actually just kind of like sitting by the fire or against a tree at night with his eyes closed and kind of like in meditation for about 4 hours. And that's how he feels more well rested in the morning, and he can't really explain it.
Pembroke could walk him through it too if you want. Like he would have knowledge of that.
Yeah, I think right now Pembroke doesn't know, because I think Lork is like tossing and turning, you know what I mean? And then he just ends up sitting up and being like, I can't sleep. And then he dozes, in this way. And then in the morning, Pembroke wakes up and he's awake, but eventually he's going to talk to him about it for sure.
Yeah, he would know that Pembroke has a solution.
Yeah.
But Pembroke would know that elves don't sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So
And I think during these quiet moments before we go to bed, Baron would kind of saddle up, sit down next to Lork and say, kind of huddling in his winter clothes.
I thought he's kind of cuddling next to Lork.
Oh,
It's chilly, Lork.
Big spoons, Lord.
Absolutely, he can wrap around me twice with his elf body. He says, Lork, does the name Just Sun mean anything to you? I know your memories aren't all about you yet.
It does, Baron. Thanks for asking. I remember. It's a sad memory, but it feels somehow distant in a way I can't really explain. But I know who you mean.
Well, I'm just excited that we have another chance at perhaps finding one of your children out there. And I feel blessed to have an opportunity to be at your side again as we venture out.
I appreciate that, Baron, and I don't know. I don't want to get myself too excited, because we saw what happened to Della. I know what happened to my band of rangers when they faced off against a fire giant. They're terrifying, horrible, evil creatures, and they can do terrible things. I'm trying not to think too much about it, to be honest. But let's do all we can to see if we can find a trail. And from there, do what we can to find her.
Well, tonight, why don't you reach into your bag? I don't think as your previous self you even ever opened up Jason's ale I made for you. So why don't we pop one back and drink to remember tonight?
Aye, it's been a long time since I even thought about that. Forgot it was on my character sheet. So yeah, he'll pull it out and there you go, pop it, yeah.
We're in the champagne room!
Yeah! Up in the champagne room, motherfuckers!
So little son's ale, and he's like, Baron, this is going right to my head. I feel I'm not able to hold this like I used to.
Well, your liver is not as iron as it used to be, but you'll get it back.
Lork iron liver.
He just keeps laughing.
We're just having a good time.
Yeah.
Having a good time. Farazi, you must feel good to be back in your element.
Back out in nature.
In nature, where Faraza intended to be. You must all feel a little bit safer having Faraza with you as well. Baron especially, like, oh, man, I wish we had a druid this time and this time and this time and this time.
I literally dropped a dice when there wasn't
He
even.
dropped a die.
was just
He wasn't
talking
rolling.
to you and you dropped a die.
We has a dice tray.
Repeat everything I said.
I was just trying to cast Mudball. Drop the dice.
don't put this on Matthew.
Deflect.
Don't try to deflect onto Matthew.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, you guys camp out. Good to have a druid on your side. And the next day comes and you get to the camp. Or not the camp. The next day comes and you get to the scene of the attack. Splintered wood lying around. Doesn't take you long to find it. Bodies that have been eaten, left for just carrion. Hardly recognizable. You brought these bodies back to Skelt. They don't have DNA testing. They have no way of knowing who these people are. There's probably about half a dozen bodies. Obvious scene of a battle. But you can tell the utmost precision was used in this attack. Nothing was wasted. These people were killed, left for dead, and there are tracks leading off that some were taken as well. So everything corroborates with Hugo and what Briella knew.
Are there
many Imperial stormtroopers are so precise.
If we're talking about just frost giants, if there's a mix of species, or do we know that answer
Yeah,
already?
you can try to use survival. I mean, Hugo told you frost giants.
Okay,
That's what you know.
All right.
Faraza would like to wander over to the tree line. I'm imagining there are some trees somewhere.
Sure.
And she's going to cast Speak with Plants.
Holy
moly.
Nice.
She would like to
Wow.
talk to the trees.
I'm
And-
sorry, they're all dead. It's frozen out here.
I take it back. There's no trees.
No trees at all.
It's a frozen wasteland.
Speak with plants.
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk up to like a nearby tree.
Yeah.
And talk to me about speak with plants. This is a level 3 druid spell.
Can I have a piece of your hair?
with tree. That's me a bug.
Give me your hair.
Give me a bug.
All right. First
so-
things first. Read the entire spell.
You can communicate with normal plants and plant creatures and can ask questions of and receive answers from them. A normal plant's sense of its surroundings is limited, so it won't be able to give or recognize detailed descriptions of creatures or answer questions about events outside of its immediate vicinity. But I think we get a big story of the battle.
Big story, yeah.
And maybe numbers, like the number of giant things that came in.
And what weapons they were carrying. And ask them what kind of armor they had on.
yeah.
And ask them how many entrances there are in
Did you-
Steerguard.
So we'll be able to give you detailed descriptions of creatures, it says. It's interesting. If a plant creature is friendly, it may do some favor or service for you.
Yeah. I'm assuming these are not creatures. It's just a tree, right?
Just a tree.
What can a tree do? Leave?
Get out of here.
Oh, thanks, Grant.
So you got the rare Grant bottle cap.
Oh, wow.
Its cash value is 1/10 of 1 cent. All right, so you walk up to this tree and cast Speak with Plants. What do you ask the tree?
My friend, my very old friend. My name is Faraz Al-Sid. And we know that some days ago there was a battle here, and that many humans lost their lives. Would you be able to tell me anything you remember about this battle?
Oh, I've seen many battles in my day. This one you speak of happened right over there.
Obviously, you can't point.
Troy just pointed.
Pointed like a branch.
Right over there. Many lost their lives, but some were spared.
How many were spared?
Let's talk so slow.
Oh, I would say 5, 10, maybe 15. But their lives are no longer theirs, for I distinctly remember hearing the word slave.
Oh, The assailants, the giants that came down to attack them. Do you remember their numbers?
There were probably 3, 6, or 9. They were very fierce. I was worried they would cut me down, but their interest was only with the small folk.
Have you seen many frost giants come this way recently?
Oh, I've seen many giants over the years. Lately, even more. I've seen probably 200, 400, 600. Many giants around these days. Ask him what his name is.
What is your name, my friend?
My name is Jazamule.
I just wanted to see what he came up with.
I was named after my father,
What is your father's name?
Jazamule.
Darren's totally oblivious to this going on. And he pulls out a hand axe to get firewood for the night, and he just starts, he's like,
Oh no, please don't let your friend kill me.
stop! Oh, what's the matter?
I'm speaking with the tree.
I'm sorry,
You
that's,
fool.
you're a weirdo. All right, I got it.
I'm a druid. This is my job.
Okay, all right.
My friend Jazamule, son of Jazamule.
Yes. You may call me Jazamule Jr.
Jazzy Jr.
JJ for sure.
I like that. I like that.
Is there anything you can tell me about where these frost giants came from, or what they might have been carrying?
He speaks to the tree next to him.
Hey, Ralph. No one call me JJ. Yes, I quite like that. What is your question?
Faraz wants to know if there's anything about like the weapons they were carrying, or the direction they came from that Jasmine remembers.
Oh, they came from the south, and to the south they returned. I saw great axes and spears and weapons I'd never seen before in all my years.
I thank you for your intelligence, my friend. And if it is all right with you, we will bury the dead in the ground nearby.
Oh, what a wonderful service. I promise to use their remains to keep me strong and healthy for years to come. Perhaps you can return someday and say hello to your old pal JJ.
It was amazing watching Troy's face, trying to keep a straight face so hard, trying to end that with a straight face.
I couldn't do it. It's so stupid. JJ Aspen.
And so Peraza thanks him for everything, and then, yeah, thank you,
Then
JJ.
you bury the dead and say a little prayer or something, and you continue on your way. Pembroke, the human wizard, Feyraza, Alced, the Asamar druid, Baron, Ashpeak, Redheart, Baron the gunslinger, inquisitor, dwarf by race, and Lork Irontusk, a name that really doesn't fit anymore. An elven ranger.
And
Cat Benatar.
Cat Benatar.
You look at the map, you know that you are a couple days away at this point. It points to a plateau deep within the mine spins, approximately 150 miles south-southwest of Minderhall's cathedral. You've been traveling now with stops in Bloodsworn Vale and in Skelt for over 2 weeks at this point. Baron, you would know if you continued farther south the marker on the map, you would come to the city of Glimmerhold and eventually another sky citadel, Kragadon. The famous lost mines, literally lost to time, are allegedly in the area right where you are traveling. Nirmathas, where you are skirting along the edge of, has a rich history, right in the middle of everything, close enough to Varesia to the west, but also flanked by the orc-ridden holds of Belkson.
War-torn Nirmathas.
War-torn Nirmathas, yes. Holds of Belkson up north, which you came from, and Molfoon to the south, which it has been in an unofficial war with forever. But you soon leave the borders of Nirmathas behind and re-enter the craggy mountain terrain of the southern mine spins in search of a giant training camp where the best of the best were sent from Minderhall's Valley. After these relatively uneventful days pass, it's the afternoon of the next day, and Lork, you notice that Cat Benatar seems very annoyed. She begins growling.
What is it, girl?
And shaking her head back and forth in a very rapid motion, like she's fighting against something.
He's going to do a perception check, kind of all around.
Okay.
Distance.
You see Lork, all of you see Lork and Cat Benatar kind of hold up, and you see the cat doesn't seem right.
See 36 if it's anything to do with giants, 32 if not.
With your 32, you hear something in the brush up ahead.
Everyone, stop. Cat Benatar has sensed something in the bush ahead. And I see the leaves moving. Be careful.
Can we
And
do-
he's going to arm his bow, his little black arrow longbow.
Can Farazza do a perception check?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's going to look through her spectacles.
About how far away are we talking? The brush?
25, 30 feet.
Oh, jeez. All right, right in the thick of it.
23.
23. You see something in the bush ahead, but you don't see any indication of what it is. With your 36, or 32 rather, you see maybe antlers or something hairy. You're not quite sure, but it doesn't
Seems to
take
be
long
A beast of some kind.
before a creature walks out from the trees up ahead. A figure that looks almost as if it's caught at the moment of transformation between human and animal. Almost ethereal looking. It has the bearded face of a man, but its head has a rack of antlers, and its hunched body is covered in patches of sleek black fur with feet ending in hooves. He approaches you very cautiously, still keeping his distance. He seems changes, his form incomprehensibly shifting and flowing between the two poses. He's hunched over at the moment, but you think if he stood up, he'd be well over 7 feet tall. And it looks like this.
It kind of reminds me of. Did anyone see Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. The forest god.
Yeah, the forest god.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was thinking satyr, but he is not a satyr.
No, check out
He's
the
got
Tumblr, folks.
Yeah, he's got some
or
satyr-esque
wherever we're
qualities.
putting it now.
Yeah, let's be on the website.
But on the website,
Grant's
check out
been
the
like, yo,
website.
man, can you send me some pictures? I'm like, we don't have any new pictures. Release that cat. It is not yours to bend to your will as you see fit.
Speaking in common?
No, he's speaking in Sylvan. So
Farazza speaks.
Farazza understands. Lord,
What's it saying to me?
release that cat immediately, or you will all be destroyed. This is you walking towards you.
What's he
What do you
saying?
do? What do you do?
What's he
What do
saying?
you do? Stand back. Think about it for a week. We'll see you next week. Oh no! No!
Oh my god.
Woo!
Oh man, I need a week to think about that. I know.
The Glass Cannon Podcast is a Glass Cannon Network production and is an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated.
All right, we're going to take 5. We're going to come back. We're going to keep working on the metals. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Be right back. Well, I guess 5 was more like 2. That's okay. Oh. Okay. How much of this gold do we have ready mixed?
This week on the Glass Cannon podcast, a mysterious creature seeks to divide the party.
I'll tell you right now, he's hostile. I think that's pretty clear by my tone.
And despite Faraz's graceful plea,
I hope that you would share my belief that to separate such a divine bond would be tantamount to sacrilege.
divide them he will.
No! No! No!
When words can no longer be trusted,
Couple of things are gonna happen.
Oh my God!
and allies become enemies.
The worst thing that could ever happen.
Clever solutions
Do what you want
Okay,
to do.
all right, so Skid's got a plan.
Yeah.
Skid's got a plan.
and bold moves
Oh, baby, that's big.
may not be enough
I am terrified.
to make them whole again.
Roll a very, very important fortitude save.
The adventure continues.
What is happening to me?
Right now.
Episode of the Glass Cannon podcast. It's your boy, Grant Berger, aka Baron Woodhart. And I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm a little bit scared about book 4. It's an exciting beginning, but it also means that Baron is the only level 10 party member. And we're going straight into a frost giant encampment. I know that this is going to be Troy's favorite book because I'm sure there'll be a TPK. We've been talking tons about the new exciting developments in GCP Nation in these intros, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet this week as a gift to you guys. All I'm going to ask you to do is visit our website, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and leave us a review on iTunes if you haven't yet. Without further ado, here's episode 139.
I can't remember the last time I put out some pawns for us to play with.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's been a while because even when we were doing encounters towards the end of book 3, they were all in roll 20.
Yes.
Maybe the Beneo fight was the last time, I believe. We've had some good old-fashioned pawns out. Some pawns! And you got that beautiful Sir Will miniature on Lexington painted.
Oh,
And you can't use it now.
it's so gorgeous. It's on its way to Highbury.
Why don't you put it out on the Mondo mat here, and we'll flash to Sir Will, like trotting his way towards Menda. There he is.
He rolls for initiative. Like on the third turn of the round, we see Sir Will trotting towards Menda.
It's good to have some pawns back. You know, I'm thinking to myself, I want to do more, as much physical pawn work for the encounters in book 4 as I can, because I enjoy it a little more than roll 20, that tactile sensation.
Well, that, and we're now sitting at a tape.
No. What's up?